Radio, the Supreme Show. It is June 21st, 2018, and thank you because you could have been anywhere in the world. But you were one of those in his team, and he appreciates that. We have CJ running the building.
Hello.
We have an Arab in the building.
Yes, we do.
Part African, part Mexican.
Hello.
And we got a Thank you because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're a blessing. I know I can't speak for everybody here, but I appreciate that shit. It's been a rough day. It's been raining. Carl Thomas been just playing through my mind. I'm just emotional, bro. But I'm here now. I feel great. I got CJ running in the building. All the way from London, UK.
I mean, I live here now.
He's not a real Arab.
Right. I live here too.
I'm 87 Street.
I'm from 87, right?
That nigga ain't
never been that way at all.
After you a little, you gotta keep that going.
All right, all right. I got you.
Yeah, so where you from in the UK?
I'm from Northampton, which is like an hour south of London, but I also grew up in South London for part of life. So, both.
How long have you been Americanized?
7 years.
Oh, so you? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See, like, I mean, I still have to say I'm from England when I talk to people because I just don't sound American. It doesn't. Don't. Right. So, but yeah, I've been here for 7 years.
So the cultural difference, you enjoy the America a lot more?
No.
Like we just went through this in the car, bro.
It's
American
one of those.
bashing, dog.
It's one of those things where like America is not that great, but I've been here for 7 years, right? Oh, who knew? But I've been here for 7 years now, so it's like a home that I've gotten used to and accustomed to. But if I compared it to everywhere else I've lived, I wouldn't put it up there as like, oh, I love it. You know what I mean?
we're trying to make it great again. So
again.
And you know with that type of talk, the president won't have no. You can get one of them camps. It ain't restricted.
Okay.
I'm not.
All right.
American. You know what I'm saying? She immigrants. She talks crazy about America. I love America. I don't even like America. I love America.
The FBI is listening.
This ain't a good time for
the FBI is listening.
I love America. I'm fucking with you.
Straight up.
We all know that a black man in America, it is not that great. It's not really. It's very challenging. You know what I'm saying?
Feel the same way.
You got the people that look like you trying to kill you, the police trying to kill you. You've been pretty soon we gonna have a purge so that everybody can try to kill you.
I'm an Arab, so everybody fucking hey, oh my, I'm looking man. I'm the sore thumb.
Mexicans kind of taking the forefront of no real talk. Mexicans taking the forefront of hate in America.
Well,
I don't know, man.
Once we got Osama, it was like,
oh my god,
what else they own? You
right?
Well, who else they got? What they have here?
You're right.
What they big folks at? You feel me? We killed the Larry Hoover of Arabs.
We still got Chapo. That's why. That's
all we
did.
Chapo still busting.
Around, break out.
He out already.
Chapo ain't
and it's 2 judges that just got killed once he got released.
When Chapo
y'all gotta do y'all research.
That would have made like super headline.
Y'all tripping.
I don't think Chapo.
The only way he out is for motherfucker digging up underneath that motherfucker.
What? We was talking the cultural differences and like when you were talking about the difference between now. What's the biggest cultural difference that you see?
What between the UK and America? I don't know.
Insulted us. Don't hold it back.
I mean, it's not. I think
it's only for the real.
I mean, culturally, there are just a lot of things. They're like really small things, and then they're just like really. Huge. I guess I think that America doesn't feel so much. I feel like London and Northampton were more melting pots than like America. I feel like America is very sectioned off. So like me, I could have also lucked out, but like I went to every school system that I was ever in had a very big mix of people. But I feel like in America, it's very, I went to an all-white school. I went to a school with only black people.
Segregated all day, yeah.
So,
right,
and there are places in there are places in the UK where their school systems like that. But I feel like more often than not, I went to school with Like, I went to school with Muslims and Jamaicans and Nigerians and Chinese people, and it was just normal to see. So, like, yeah, so it was more normalized in my head, but I feel like everyone says America is, like, really diverse, but it's sort of not. It's very sectioned off.
In your living conditions and things like that, like, a person in working environments, black and white people work together. But when you go home, when you want to feel safe in America, you better get with somebody that look like you. You know, be wondering, like, yeah, white guy. You know, those crazy. Like, yeah, they are.
Right.
Oh boy.
I'm just saying that's how, and I have no like real knowledge of the UK and things like that. Right. I learned from Netflix and documentaries on YouTube, in my readings and things like that.
Yeah, of course.
And I've learned that. And talking to my grandma, she's a real classy lady. And she says like in the UK that y'all more base the social standards on like class systems. So it's poor, rich. It don't matter what color you are.
I mean, lately though, I feel like racism has always been in the UK, but it's a lot more polite and very ingrained into the system that you don't really notice it at first.
So it's like, nigga.
How do you get Come on, man, we want to learn.
Hello, nigga.
No, I don't like saying like nigga in a British accent. Like, is that what you want? Nah, like
what's the negative term that they use for it?
I mean, no, it's like
jigaboo.
It's usually like it's the M word, or it's like calling us like blacks in a derogatory way, like all the blacks, you know.
Damn.
I wouldn't even feel that bad.
Right.
Why said that shit? Where's that? But you say black, you're like, yeah, bitch, I am here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean.
He was like, he called me black. We're like, well,
now,
he didn't call you a nigga.
I was really, in my younger 20s, I was really into y'all culture because I saw this movie called Kid Adulthood, and it's just...
Kidulthood, man, yeah.
It was like, the hood, but y'all live like
our hood, right? Yeah.
Y'all did all type of gangster shit. Like
every time
whooped at the party, I'm oh damn, they put my man like that last week, man.
Man, ain't been the same since they killed Trife. Yeah, it's when I first moved here, that was definitely a thing. Like people didn't believe that the UK A had black people, and then B that we had like inner cities and low income areas where there was like hoods and ghettos. You know what I mean? And so like they just thought that like
everybody was rich.
Rich, and that like if you were like black from England, you were like really soft and you lived really posh and didn't, you know. And so like I would have to explain like your knowledge of the UK is like Downton Abbey or like every wedding that happens whenever it happens. Like you need to watch Kidulthood. That was always my thing. Watch Kidulthood. See that we do have inner cities. We do have low income like black. Like it's.
And it was mixed, though.
And it was also it was
yeah. It was all type of motherfuckers in the hood.
Yeah, Jay was white.
Because like in Chicago, like shooting my thing, y'all stabbed motherfuckers.
I
swear to God, like
with the baseball bat.
Right, they run around bats and chains and stabbing niggas. We shoot. There you go, Buck. There you go.
It's 2 days in a row. Somebody gotta die.
We busting.
Knife crime is a big problem in the UK. And when you tell black people, like especially black people from Chicago, whenever I talk to them, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, knife crime in England. They're like, knife crime?
Yeah, like
don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
Right, that kind of thing.
Show your goddamn. I'm like,
right, you better put
fucking knife.
I mean, obviously, like, thought he was eating steak tonight. Now, obviously, like, there's gun problems in the UK, but it's knife crime kind of takes precedent. But yeah.
So it was before we get to some, I got to know this.
Yeah,
I got to know this. Uh-huh. So it was your experience as a child more like Kidulthood where y'all?
No. Okay.
Got that shit
no. See, the thing is, let's see. I lived in England from like 8 to 13, and a bit when I was like 4. So I grew. When I was in South London, where I guess which is Croydon, where like a lot of these things sort of happen. I left before I could really experience it and be in it. You know, I was very protected from it because I was like 4 or 5 years old. I think about 6, and then my mum just kind of, I never really saw that part of life because I was so young. So it's just something that I know about because I have so many like family friends that live in Croydon and live in like parts of London that can be like that. But that wasn't for me. No, that's not what I saw.
So before you left London, did you soak up some of the music culture?
Yeah. So, my timeline's a bit skewy. I was born in Germany, and I lived there till I was 8 years old. So that's why I say 8 to 13 was spent in England. So I did, like, to be fair, to be really honest, 8 to 13, I was very into American music at the time.
Okay.
Like, I listened to a lot of that, like, 2000s R&B hip-hop stuff, like Alicia Keys, 50 Cent, da-da-da. Like, I was very into that. And it was only when I was closer to leaving England that I started to really get into the music culture. So when I moved to America, I was strictly listening to, like, British music because I felt very homesick. So it was an odd, like, now I'm really into British music, but man, I literally left a month ago, and now I'm listening to everything because, like, I want to be home. It was an odd, yeah. So, but yeah, no, I definitely, like, British music is very close to my heart. It's most of my stuff. Most of the stuff I listen to is British, you know. So yeah, very in tune.
You never know what you got till it's gone. I guess.
Basically.
So I got the first song I got queued up from you was Run. No, I haven't got Run. I got that's your name.
Yeah.
Indigo. That was my favorite.
Oh,
song.
Indigo. Oh,
Because it was like when I was beefing with my girl, I still beef for her. Fuck you.
Wow. Oh man.
I know she did. I love you, Roberto, but you pissed me off a lot. You know. And
it's okay.
Anyway, but I was listening, and it was like, you know, I was learning about, because you just be like, I usually kick the interview off and I tell motherfuckers I get in tune with you. And I was gonna wait to the third part to tell this story, but I'm gonna get into it before we get into the break. I got into CJ Run. She sent me an email, and the beginning of the email is strictly saying, "Hi, I'm CJ Run. I'm a non-binary artist from woo 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 woo." So I took that into consideration. I wrote my post, and me being ignorant of what a non-binary person was. I said, I was a Saturday morning. I'm up early putting in the work, folks. Gee, man, this nigga, listen. On Twitter, I don't know. Like, help me. At first, I'm like, damn, this nigga want to beef through the keys? You know what I'm saying?
See, I was so nice about it. I was like, thank you. I was like, I appreciate this, but I don't like the way that you said this. But thank you. I was nice about it. Like, I wasn't trying.
Did not take it that way.
No, I was not trying to start a fight because
you called him all type of motherfucker.
Oh, so everything's war. Right. Everything's war.
Against anything I say.
Yeah.
It's on.
All right.
Go get the gun.
I thought I was nice. I was like, all right.
She coming with her knife. She ain't thinking about that.
Right. Coming with a knife. Wow.
Right.
All right. Keep going.
Close quarters now.
I like the music though. Like I listen to the one EP, and I ain't the type of person where I just click one.
Yeah.
Even if I dislike, I'm like, this nigga can't be this ass. Song. Right. Go through us. I'm like, damn, she dancing. That's the type of swag only for the real need. So we go back and forth. I'm like, I didn't mean to offend you, CJ.
Yeah.
Would you come on? So she, I'll come.
I did not say it like
because that's how I imagine in my head. You came, I'll come. I'm hell yeah. And when she get on her ass, because I ain't mean to write it like that.
All right.
But and also one thing that spawned from the disagreement and whatever was wrote about her. I learned more. It forced me to go like, damn, why is she getting so mad? Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, she tripping on my son. She tripping. But I'm glad we here. We get to learn more. We ain't gonna.
It's why I came. I thought, there's no point burning a bridge.
Point.
I knew you didn't understand probably, so I was like, I'll just come in.
Yeah, no hate. It's a scene we building bridges here at Only for the Real. You know what I'm saying? We had the first gay drill rapper. He kills and sucks dicks. We doing all
I love duality. Wow. I love duality.
Wow. It's true. This shit going crazy. It's true. He ain't blowing up right now.
Man.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, man. We gonna get into the CJ Run Indigo.
All right.
I got some my nigga Locke Foster. You remember he went him when Locke was saying, I told him I have lump his ass up, man. And I got that new G Herbo, that Swervo. So when we get back, we gonna get into some more with CJ Run. UK versus America. Oh, that's the name of this right. Hell yeah. Making America great again. Ooh. Now I ain't gonna shout out Donald Trump. I ain't that dumb.
I was just saying, because my grandma watched.
Hey, she again. No, wow, we back in this bitch only for the real radio. And damn, I'm steady tweaking while I'm steady hitting the wrong button. Let me get myself together. I'm steady hitting all the mics. And they ain't even know. Wow. Welcome back. We back on the Real Radio. I hope y'all enjoyed that music. We had CJ Run with the Indigo.
Hello.
My nigga Locke Foster, Real False Part. About you.
I knew that shit was coming.
And that new G Herbo, Swervo. And we in this bitch, we just chilling, we learning. We're learning more. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we at the point where, We just gonna get into that shit. We got to.
What are we getting into?
We got to get into this non-binary thing.
Oh.
Because because it was such, it wasn't the reason, because you got hot music. I want to link with any nigga that's doing anything. And I hope you don't mind me calling you nigga, because in the UK, America is a term of endearment. You know what I'm saying? I love you, Negro.
Thank you. Nah, it's alright. I'm fine with it. Go ahead.
Now, what I had learned, you can identify as a woman or a man as being non-binary. However you feel, whatever the mood you in. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with masculinity or femininity. It's about how you address yourself. So, me want to learn more about CJ. How do you identify?
Alright, so I do identify as being non-binary. I was assigned female at birth, so I was born and placed as like being a girl, so I was obviously raised as a girl. You know, that was what it was until I kind of started questioning things about my gender and who I wanted to be. And then, so for me, being non-binary at this point in time, it's just like, for me, it's honestly just like a disregard to like being a man or a woman. I just like, for me, if boys wear blue and girls wear red, then I wear purple. Okay. It's not like, purple is its own color, but it stems from blue and red. That's that's the easiest way for me to explain my gender to people. I do identify as being masculine of center, so like as far as like how I dress and present, I feel more comfortable in masculinity than I do femininity. But my masculinity is not centered around like being a man, because I believe, and it believes to be true, that you can be masculine and not be a man. Like being masculine is not tied to just being like, you know. So it's very much just kind of like, I don't really prescribe to the traditional man woman. I'm just more person, you know. And but as far as how I present and how I feel, masculinity is where I feel most comfortable.
Funny shit, because you know to do this, I have to look into you as a person. I have to find out more about you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So when I was reading up on the non-binary thing, I was reading up on your tweets. You had said a tweet where you were like, I see men and they got me feeling gay. So I had to call bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, she see niggas.
Right.
And so that's and then once I had learned what I learned about it,
man, my tweets. This is like a job interview when they bring up like, so
that shit was hilarious. I cried.
We gotta talk about. All right, so I guess so. You want me to like explain that? Okay, all right. So because I have this disregard for gender. See, gender and sexuality are very separate, but sometimes they intertwine. So it's like, you know, the standard definition for gay is like a woman that likes a woman, or like a man who likes a man. Okay, fair. But what if you identify as neither? What makes it gay? What makes it straight? And that's something that a lot of non-binary people, we joke about and we talk about. So like when the first thing I realized about myself was my sexuality. So I was 17, I was still identifying like as a girl. So that I was just like, oh, okay, I'm a girl that likes girls. And I figured I was bisexual, and I was like, okay, I like girls and I like boys, and I'm a girl, so that fine. But then once the gender piece came in, it was just like, okay, so I like girls and it's still gay. Like, I was like, everything is still gay. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I was like, oh, you're neither likes go, oh, it's gay. And then also as someone who is masculine of center, and like, so sometimes I refer to myself as like a boy with an I, like that's a term like in the queer community for people who are like masculine centered, but not necessarily men. You like, just like boy, you know, we call ourselves man, dude, boy, even if you're like neither. It just feels comfortable. I'd rather you call me sir than ma'am type thing, you know. You kind of just pick the thing that feels better, especially in a world that's very binary, right? It's like, which one do you like more? Or if you like neither, you make up a word and hopefully it catches on. But
like, hey, check it out, shorty. Check it out, sis.
Yeah. I hate being called like sis, ma'am, lady. Like, I feel like sometimes it just seems so extra. I'm like, you're trying very hard to make me a woman now, aren't you?
The kid, I learned from y'all got quick tempers. Motherfuckers throwing them bitches. Do you be quick to throw them bitches up?
Nah, you know, I'm an Aquarius, so I'm pretty passive aggressive. I don't like, unless it's really bothering me, or it's a person that I know I'm going to have to see consistently in my life.
You gotta get that shit right.
Yeah. So if I just meet you at first and you're like, hey sis, ma'am, ooh lady, da-da-da-da, I'm just like, okay, I'm never going to see you again. I don't want to have this conversation. Because it's pretty draining, because I got to explain it if they don't know about, you know.
Yeah.
So you pick your battles.
See, I was trying, bro, when we talked about this, I was like, just call it CJ. I don't, because you was mad.
Right.
I said it.
Don't piss off, bro.
But I learned that a lot of most non-binaries, they said most non-binaries like to be referred to as like it or them or something like that.
They, them are my pronouns. Yeah.
So I was like, damn. But you, when I said it before, I didn't mean it as like it. I was talking about
that
you.
wasn't. Yeah, that wasn't even the problem. That wasn't the. But
I
okay,
ain't
wait.
said
But wait, no,
yeah,
wait. But you want me to? No. But you want me to explain
Okay.
why I said being attracted to men makes me feel gay.
Yes.
Like you asked that, so
Whatever.
let me finish.
Whatever.
Let me just do that. So because as coming out, I was a girl that liked girls, so that always stuck. And then also when you're like female and you like girls who are like mostly like cisgender girls who are like born girls, like I don't know, everything is just gay. I feel like I fall into like the stud category a lot, you know, just because of like my body. So I'm like, yeah, that's gay. But then when it comes to men, it's just like, well, you know, I kind of look like a boy. I feel boyish on days. And I'm a boy type that's attracted to men. This is gay too. Like, like, you know, like, I'm just like, yeah, this is pretty. So like, yeah, and like, when it comes to like this, like guys that I've been with since I've been out, you know, like a lot of them have been straight men. And they're always just like, is this gay? Like they're always like, is me being attracted to you like I like girls, but like I like you, but like you're not a boy, but you're not a girl. So like, is this gay? And I'm just like, it is. I'm just like, right. So like, that's something I've also dealt with. They're just like, well, you know what? You're cute, and I'm just like, I mean, I'm straight, but like you're cute and whatever. So I'm just like, yeah, no, this is gay. This is gay. I'm a twink either way. So I'm just like, I'm like, yeah, either way, it's gay. Am I a boy or a girl? We don't know, but either way, it's gay. It's fine.
And I ain't gonna front my move. It was so interesting learning about non-binary. I told bro, I'm like, bro, I'm non-binary, bro. I'm a non-binary lesbian, bro, because I don't fuck with the niggas. And every time
oh my God.
my feelings, you know what I'm saying? And it's times I gotta say fuck all that fake shit. I'm about to shoot. So we gonna get back into some music. Oh shit, bro. I got some shit from my nigga Earn G. Bro, you steady texting me like I told you to email it to me.
Oh, my bad, G.
I'm gonna work it out though. I got some more CJ Run in the cut.
That's what it was, email.
This nigga just Negro.
My
And he
bad.
makes A-Rap usually be about the shit.
That's why I don't get happy for the show, G.
Yeah.
They only like that with gas stations.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, now.
Look,
Hold on. Motherfucker.
Look, CJ, like,
Wait till we come back off this commercial break. It's going down.
We get on something nothing like that.
Oh my God.
We got the ball here, man. We gonna get back to some music. It's fun being only for the real, because if I wasn't only for the real, I'll fuck around and be dead. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that. I don't know if that's true. I wouldn't be 12 though. Fuck them. Only for the real radio. One, we back. Didn't get the music in time. I did. So we got to play it. We had to come back and play some more CJ. I wasn't prepared as I thought I was.
That's so
When you
good.
be dumb and you leave shit on the computer and you transfer from the computer to play, you know, shit just be going wrong sometimes, man. But there ain't nothing wrong with that. Because we moving on up. We got UK artists in this, man. I'm learning more every week. I had rich niggas in here last week. I got motherfucking UK now. I'm non-binary. You feel me? A non-binary. They're not making fun of it, but it is like y'all. You could just basically put anything in it. Like it's just feeling comfortable with yourself. That's what I learned about it.
Right.
And I'm comfortable with myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm comfortable with CJ now. We talking, but we got into the non-binary thing because it's a part of you, and people need to know that it's like I figured at first when you were upset about the way I wrote it, I was like, why would you put it in the email? Then I realized it is important for somebody to know because if we hear your voice and then you do sound feminine, you're like, shit, she still don't want to be identified like that. Don't call, you know what I'm saying? CJ and that, you know, can't do that. I'm learning. It's an adjustment, you know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that this episode and more like it will help educate people about certain issues and just how people want to be addressed. At first, me being just a straight black man, you don't have many feelings about people going to be transgender or identify as many different things because it's just shit. There's so many pitfalls ahead of me. Like I can't care about what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then when you become educated on matters and like, you know, you can't, and more in turn with your own feelings that you can't really put people in the box like this. You can't expect people to always fold how you fold or rock how you rock, or for you to always understand exactly what they mean at that point in time and take understanding. And I'm glad that you were so open to come out here and you haven't gotten upset about our ignorance to the situation. Because I'm going to make fun of everything, you know what I'm saying? I just found out I ever did. I make fun of that all the time. You feel me? That's it's fun, you know what I'm saying? Now, you doing your thing with the music, you're part of a collective, and that's how I got into it with first.
Okay.
Because the Soultra.
Soultra, yeah.
Soultra. Another nigga sent me from the Soultra, and he got mad at me. I don't even know his name. Because I heard your track. You were on another track with somebody else on y'all SoundCloud page. And I was like, man, I like this track, bro. Who is them? This nigga stopped tweeting at me and shit. I'm damn, that's some hate man shit. Oh, shit. And you sent me, he sent his email before you sent your email. Okay. So I'm like, man, he must have told her about it or whatever. And I actually had your email for a while. I'm like, damn, I didn't post shorty shit. I want to hear that shit again. Ooh. And I went back and that's how it came about. But I'm gonna look his name up. I think it was Mike Hill or some shit like that. Michael or something. That nigga's a hoe. And I hope he's listening on my son.
Wow.
He pull up, they know where I'm at, right? Wow. And I don't do that fight shit. I'm about to shoot.
Me and Mikhail don't have a song together.
And it wasn't he wasn't on the song. It was you and somebody else on the song. Or it was two other members of the
Okay, it could have been let's see. It's probably Jaunt 500. Might have been.
Like y'all got some nice ass music on that SoundCloud. Yeah. Like how did that come? How do niggas with that much, you know what I'm saying, swag get together? Like, you know.
I mean, I'll tell you, U of I in Champaign was the breeding ground for everything. So like, I went to college. I started college when I was 17 out there, and in my second year, all the members lived in the dorm that I worked at. I had like an RA type job, and so I just knew them from there. Jonte, shout out to him. He's a producer, singer, songwriter, engineer, and he helped me record my first like EP. And so like then last summer they were like, yeah, so we're putting this collective together, like, you know. And I was a little apprehensive at first, but then we kind of just everything kind of came together. So
so it's not that old.
Yeah, we're new. We're honestly hitting a year this summer. So yeah, we're new. We're as a collective.
So how long have you been doing music?
Oh, mate, I've been doing music since like making my own music since 13.
Damn.
Yeah.
So this ain't you about 7 years deep.
Yeah. And you just get better with as the years go on, and so.
And with you having like such a you so well rounded in the story, like. You gay, but you not. You a woman, but you not. You black. You a nigga, but you not.
Yeah.
That's Chicago, the police, everybody, they just see a nigga. They don't care if you open your mouth like, oh.
You can't be like, oh, I'm African. Yeah.
No, okay.
Oh, yeah. Get your ass out the car.
You a man.
Put that fucking insurance away. We don't give a fuck about that shit.
Yeah, no, I have my own. I have my own unique set of struggles with the police. With the police, I do. It's dealing with the police with your gender entwined with your race is very interesting.
I couldn't imagine it because you black first before anything. Before you know they gonna nigga. Negro.
Well, yeah.
Negro.
But
you're
I think
not even a woman, you're nigger.
I think my gender is very obviously on me though that I have to deal with both at the same time. So it's like I'm more worried about dealing with people's transphobia and homophobia than I am dealing with like race stuff.
Whoa.
Like that stuff kind of I have more stories to tell about homophobic, transphobic incidents than I do of like a white person calling me the M-word on the street or something. It's intersectionality. Yeah.
I'm fucking dead. I'm fucking dead. Yeah. So with the collective and how y'all come up with music and do things like that, like do you add members or is it just set like this?
No, like members get added. Sometimes I can't even keep track. I'll be like, oh, so this person is okay, fine. They're like the main core members of the group, and then we have people that we like collaborate with and stuff. So it's kind of like a family tree, but there's a core set of members, and everyone else is kind of like they join in
As you all see.
Yeah, as you do.
Y'all like the Legion of Doom. Y'all get to vote who in and who out.
Yeah, we got to talk about it. Like, do we want to add this person?
So basically, this is a gang.
A gang. I was just about to say it. Sounds like a gang.
Where I come from, that is a gang.
Sure.
You know? Like, nah, folks ain't down. We whooping that nigga tomorrow.
My God.
He was supposed to be 2 days.
Hey,
he get money right here. He would get money right here, too. Oh, definitely. That was too bad. We beat his ass tomorrow. Oh, fucking dead, man. So you dropped some EP just for the summer, like
no, it's not an EP.
It's a playlist.
Yeah, it's just a playlist.
But it was all summery vibes, and today being like I was gonna have a topic, but I wasn't feeling so good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Birdie because she was the one that brought the gloom into my day. Besides the rain, you know what I'm saying? It's called picking with a nigga. Just picking with a nigga. You feel me? I'm angry again. God damn. But you know, and I wanted to have this discussion about summer because it's not the best time in Chicago, but it's the best feeling time. You know what I'm saying? It get a lot dangerous. It's hella dangerous. You know what I'm saying? You get 80 degrees, man. Shit. At least 7 niggas gotta get shot. Southside alone, 7 niggas got to get shot.
I'm saying like 11 niggas gotta get shot. Like 4 gotta die.
4 gotta die. You got something, and it'll be like before midnight. You're like, damn, we gotta get the numbers in, folks. We haven't killed enough today, bro. We have not met our quota of murder when the weather. And that's the worst part about Chicago. Besides that, it's beautiful. You take your ass downtown to the Bean. You get away from the hood. It's a wonderful place. In the hood, I love it so much, as you know. But like, how can I say this? Your music. It give you a different type of summer. Like when you put that little playlist together, was it to, just lift spirits and put that vibe out there?
No, the playlist was just to kind of keep track because initially my plan for the summer was, okay, I'm going to drop a song every week and I'm just going to do that. But then I was traveling a bit and, and when you're traveling a lot, you don't have a consistent studio space. So I have some music that's on the back burner, but it was just a playlist of these are all the songs I'm going to be releasing over the summer. So I'm just going to keep adding to it as I release stuff. That's all. It wasn't intent for summer. It's just this is just keeping track. Hey, this is all the new stuff that's coming out this summer.
I'm sitting there I'm supposed to feel good.
Nah, I mean no, but I'm glad you feel good. I mean, it is summer and it has influenced how I'm feeling and what songs I want to make. So obviously, yeah, but it wasn't intended as an EP, just a playlist. Just here's what's up.
Funny thing. With certain songs you don't hear your accent as heavy on certain when you try to sing and shit, you kind of sound like an American.
Right.
Hey, come damn, you feel me? And then no funny. When you the Indigo shit, I love that shit, but I never let you sing that shit in front of my bitch. You gotta fight.
Oh my god!
I'm pretty sure a woman damn, she coming because she sound masculine. Then she get feminine. You whoa, wait. Don't play with my bitch like that. Don't play with
never-ending story of straight guys having beef with me over their girlfriends.
Don't play with my girl, bro. You gotta ask the kid, hey, did she say she was a man? She identified as a man, tell her come outside.
Oh my god.
I'm finna punch CJ finna fight today. She's singing that shit upstairs, and my bitch in that one day and shit. Do you bump into a lot of that?
Do I
niggas having animosity towards you about?
Oh yeah. So guys, either straight guys. I don't make a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of straight friends. But as far as straight guys, yeah, it's either sometimes they feel like they're competing with me, or or if they have girlfriends, they get a little tight about me being friendly with things like that. Insecurities kind of run deep sometimes. And I don't have a lot of straight guy friends.
That's crazy because most niggas in the hood, bro, with a she punches shit up and niggas shoot
right.
Shit
I mean, you think
get the hoes and shit.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what their problem is. I mean, I have a few here and there, but not a lot of close straight guys.
It's few and far between.
Yeah, no.
That's crazy.
Not a lot.
Damn, so you a cool motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, everyone in Sultra is a straight guy.
Damn, yeah. I want to go
there. So which was why I was apprehensive about joining at first. I was like, I don't want to be around a bunch of straight men all day. I don't know if I want to do that. But they were cool, and they're my pals. I love them a lot. But usually I don't hit it off. Or I guess just like as someone who was like raised as a girl, I'm very conditioned to if I'm in a room of people, I'm gonna go up to the girls. Like that's who I think I can make friends with. Especially because even though I look masculine, I'm still kind of fruity. Like this is why I say I'm a bit of a gay boy. Like I'm still kind of like, you know, like so it's easier for me to talk to girls because like that's fine. But I feel with guys I gotta be all like, hey, and a lot of the studs that are friends with like guys are the more macho. And there's some studs I can't even get along with because like they think I'm too gay, like I'm too like flamboyant, like I'm not as masculine as certain studs. So they'd be like, you know,
you hate to be like boxed in, like
I'm not. I'm too much of a girl for the guys, too much of a guy for the girls. It's like I'm too you white for the black kids. Like I'm honestly in the middle of everything spectrum wise. I've lived in America for 7 years, so my accent isn't as strong. Even when I talk to people, they're like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "I'm from here." Like, "Oh, really?" Like, "Yeah, been away for a minute, but I'm from here." You know, they can hear it. They're like, "Oh yeah, you sound like you've been in America for too long." I'm like, "Yeah, like yeah, you're right." So like, I have pieces of everything, but I'm not enough of everything. I'm just kind of like my own little blend. So it's. Yeah, but I make friends with girls more. Like, I don't have a lot of straight guy friends.
Don't lie, I be hella American bashing when y'all link up with back home. Man, American.
Yeah. When I get on Skype, we go in.
Right,
like, these are easy as hell.
Right.
Nah, I don't know. Americans have an infatuation with British accents. Like, it's very, it's like, I mean, it helps if you're, like, interesting, but if you have an accent, it's like, oh my god, where are you from? Wow. You know, and it's just like, and that's it. And sometimes I'm like, if I didn't have this accent, like, would it be as easy, you know? But I'm like, let me.
Can't worry about that shit.
Right, you can't work in the moment. You just got to use it. Oh yeah, I'm from the UK. How you doing? Like, oh my god, I love the accent. You're so cute. Oh my god, you're so cute. Like, give me like, thanks. You know, where are you from? Like,
Hey man, I don't know where the fuck in America you learn at this level. Like, if I was a kid, I'd love to listen to this because now I'm cultured. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning about Mexicans. I'm learning about Arabs, UKs.
Nigga, I am from Auburn, Gresham. You cannot learn about Arabs from me. You can only learn about the south side of Chicago, nigga. Stop putting me there. Stop putting me there, bro.
They don't know that though, bro. That's the beauty of life. My mama said I could be Christ. I wasn't old enough to hold my dick and be right. Jesus, what is he like? Dumbass. Hey man, it's been I'm gonna end it with some music. Usually I end it with that one song, but I'm gonna end it with some CJ and my nigga Aaron G, his new track. And before we get up out of here, I want to give, you know what I'm saying? No, wait, before we get up out of here, CJ, you got to tell people how they can find you. Wait. No, I got one more, because I sent you, because it's big. It's been a big week in hip-hop murders, some niggas dying, and doing stuff like that. And you just, Twitter, you almost had niggas come look for you the other night.
I remember.
Niggas was on your bumper.
I recall.
I don't advocate, you know, people, once a motherfucker gone, we don't really, in America, we don't speak on like that. Like, I'm an older nigga, we don't speak on, I mean, dude was a bitch, but, you know, rest of the people. You know
right.
You know, it's like, yeah, you know, that nigga was rapist folk, you know, leave that shit alone. Yeah. You leave it alone. Yeah. Once he dead, you feel me? Unless you smoke them, then we talk, man, for his bitch ass. Get his shit out, and that's the story, you know? But, with I don't even know how you say his name. But the extinction.
I thought it was just extinction.
No, it's extinction.
Extinction.
Hey, was he Mexican?
No. We're not claiming him.
Damn,
y'all not claiming?
Whoa. He can be yours. You can have him.
I think,
but you can have him though.
He ain't Abraham though.
He not Mexican either.
That motherfucker is Mexican.
No, he not.
That
motherfucker get on there was
like, people who are against like us, the world celebrating his death, like hold him to like a standard where he was like some type of martyr or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you definitely was like, nah, bro, this nigga not cool. And I'm like, damn, so like, you trying to come on the show, niggas gonna kill you. They gonna kill. What was your opinion on that?
I mean, so I believe that I obviously don't know the man. Right? You can't talk about something you know, but when you're a public figure, I mean, you're gonna have to deal with people having opinions about you or like knowing parts of your life. when he came onto the scene, the only thing I knew about him was the whole like abuse with his girlfriend thing, and then the gay guy in jail that he beat up and like almost killed, and then like all the accounts about his girlfriend, and that was literally like all I knew, along with oh look at me became big, you know what I mean? So like I was introduced to him with his backstory being that he was like a terrible guy that like beat women and gay people. So I'm just like, no, like I was like I'm not listening to him, like I'm really not. And so, like, you know, and also somebody that, like, has a lot of friends that have, like, been through, like, abuse and assault, being a queer person, all of that. It's like, I had no reason to support him while he was alive. You know what I mean? It's like, no, like, I'm not standing for rappers that are, you know, I'm right, against me and, like, people I love and things like, nah, like, forget that. And so, like, when, you know, it popped up that, like, oh, he passed, you know, I wasn't, like, jumping for joy at it, but I was like, okay, he's dead. You know what? He was a terrible person anyway, so I guess that's just one less abuser, that's one less horrible human being, right? I was just like, you know what? Hey, like, it's not good or bad that he's dead. I'm not saying he should have died. I'm like, yeah, like, but it was more just like, okay, well, he was a horrible person, you know, like, and so when I was seeing, like, certain people like, oh, man, I can't believe his God, man, I love him so much, oh, he had a few demons, but, oh, what a good guy, oh, I was just like, no, can we not do that, because, like, it was fuck him when he was alive, because of the things he did, and now that he's dead, that doesn't absolve him of what he did, and also, it's kind of hurtful seeing, like, somebody who was, like, an abuser and all of that being celebrated and put in this, like, just because he died. I was just like, I read, it's like, right. Let's not forget, like, yeah, he died, but we, like, the way that everyone was celebrating, like, he was this, like, forerunner of hip-hop that was changing everything, and such a good young man. It's like, no, like, your pregnant girlfriend, like, and all the other things, the countless things I was reading, I was just like, my goodness. So I was like, look, like, I'm not saying it was good or bad that he was shot and killed, but can we not talk about him like some sort of, oh man, why do you have to go? Maybe you should have gone with the way he was treating people, you know what I mean? And so then a bunch of fanboys, oh man, I don't support your music anymore, bro. I thought you were better than this. Go then. Like, I'm always gonna take the side of survivors of assault over, like, celebrating and, you know, keeping the peace for some dead guy that, you know, like, I was like, nah, like, I'm not gonna do that. So that's all that was for me, you know?
And I respect that. Like, now that you, like, I really didn't care about you, because shit, I got niggas dying every day, you know what I'm saying? So, for a rapper to die that I never listened to besides, I don't even roll in peas. I typed it out when he got this part, honestly. I'm sorry, like, he always kind of, besides that,
he was in that part?
Yeah.
Damn, that
was him?
Yeah.
That's the only song I ever listened to.
That's the only one I knew he was on.
No disrespect to him, but I like to, you know, when it's a hot topic like that, you want to understand both sides of it.
Right.
You, shit, beautifully just laid that shit out. Like, shit, why could you? I wouldn't support a motherfucker that's like Donald Trump down in the Mexicans being like, oh my God, Trump.
Right. See,
basically.
Think about it, like, if, you know, no one's saying that we were trying to play God or, like, hold people's lives and say who deserves to die or not. But sometimes there are people that are just really bad, that do nothing but hurt people. And if they go, you're like, well, you know, like, if Donald Trump dies, I doubt there are going to be people that are like, oh, well, he's still a human being. We can't say that about Trump. Because if you disrespect life while you're on Earth, I don't care about when your life is gone. I really don't. And if that makes me a bad person or heartless, oh, there's no empathy in the world. Nah, fuck it. Like, okay, I don't have empathy for someone that didn't have empathy for people like me. Like, that's whatever.
That
like,
make you real.
Like,
That make you real. A lot of time I'm fucking gonna be, oh, he did, man. And you just, either, I feel like I'm right on my spectrum, on my end of the spectrum, where I just choose to ignore it. Like, you know, let's just, but shit, if a motherfucker did you wrong, shit, we gonna shoot dice on this grade.
Right,
$1 $1 folks. 6 8. Disrespect them.
Oh my God.
That's how you feel. Nobody. And again, as I age and I learn, shit, I might not agree with how you go about it, but I understand. Cause nobody tell you how to feel. And before we get up out of here, I have my final thought. And I'm addressing this to people out there that frustrate people. People out there that, just all types of things, bro. You might have a motherfucker in your life, and they can call you and piss you off, and then they hang the phone up, and then you sitting there like, man, what the fuck? Ooh, you try to text, call, and you can't get that frustration out. My man, I'm telling you to not swallow that shit. I'm not telling you to take that shit and just sit down. You pass that frustration off. You feel me? When a bank in debt, When somebody don't pay that bank, you think they sit there and eat that shit? They pass that fucking debt along. They sell it to somebody else. Now, my suggestion this week is to find that person that pissed you off and you make their life hell. You feel good frustrating them.
Birdie, you got some hell coming.
Nah, she ain't frustrating me yet. She ain't frustrating me, but she know how I'm coming up.
Birdie
She'll
is
be frustrating
coming.
Me, and then get off the phone and try to run away. And I got to give you that back. Because then who I got the bug up on? You feel me?
Oh, man. See, now I'm about to go home and stress my boyfriend.
You got to. You got the bug.
You can't come. You can't go to the Only for the Real show no more. Hell no. Every time you come back to the drug, I should beat your ass.
Me. I'm doing all right.
Yeah, she don't stress me. She just, it's like, we go through some major shit. And we'll be cool at the end of the major shit. It'll be the small things. Like, you screaming at me. Like, oh my God, girl, what the fuck are you talking about? And then you frustrated, then I'm frustrated, and then I'm unfrustrated, then you frustrated, so you call me and let your frustrated, now then you good. You get to go on and live your life, I'm sitting there mad, I'm just angry. Angry with the world. Taking that shit out on drivers, on my homies, on everybody but my grandma, man, because I love her.
Right.
On my mama, I love my grandma. God damn, I hate you, bro. But I love you at the same time, baby.
My name has been CJ Run.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I want to say thank you for having me. Yeah. Oh, so I'm on Twitter at CJ Run, but it's spelled CJEIGHRUN. If anyone at Twitter is listening, can you just give me the other one? The other guy's been inactive for like 7 years. I just want CJ Run. I had to like get creative with it. I am also CJ Run on SoundCloud, Spotify, Twitter, Instagram, iTunes. I'm on Facebook as well. You can catch me this weekend, actually, on Saturday, all part of Pride Month. I am going to be at the Dyke March performing, and some other announcements that I can't make right now.
Damn,
so you gotta follow me. Just follow me and like keep up. But like I've got other shows coming up around like the area. Anyway, I'll be around. Thank you so much for having me.
What's the name of your EP?
Well, I have an EP like from like 2 years ago. It's called Forget Me Not. But I'm also releasing a song like sporadically throughout the summer. Got some new stuff that's out currently. What do we got? 747, Indigo, The Ascent, League of My Own.
Ascent that shit. That's what I'm gonna play next week.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, because I was feeling Indigo when I was listening to it. I was like, I gotta get that.
Get the fuck out of there.
Oh my God! Can't do nothing. I can't do nothing. But yeah, 747, Indigo, The Ascent, League of My Own, Tangerine is a demo that I just put out. But yeah, I'm about, so just look up CJ Run.
Look, man, only for the real, man. Yeah, it's like every week a motherfucker come in, y'all be like, oh man, maybe I know this nigga, maybe I don't. But I'm telling you this, I won't let no huff ass nigga that want my family come. You know what I'm saying? All niggas here, you know what I'm saying? There's only real niggas in him, man. I had a lot of niggas on the squad, you might see like, damn, how the squad keep changing? Because it be fake ass niggas in the gang, you feel me? And if fake ass niggas in the gang, since we not in the streets no more, you can't kill them. You just gotta kick them out. You know?
Boy.
You get to dismiss them. So if you aren't a real Negro, you know what I'm saying?
A real Negro.
I don't mean like color, nigga. You could be white. You feel me? We had one nigga Todd in here last week. He coming back, but that's for the podcast. So y'all might not get him on the show. We got CJ Run here. Who we got next week? I don't even fucking know because it does not matter. Briah, you coming back?
Yes, I am.
The gang, we got a new gang member.
I'm gonna be back.
We got a new
I'm the realest.
Well, we can't call a new member yet though, because every member we get, they usually fall off around like the second, third.
We be well?
They usually fall off around like third week.
Oh my gosh!
Kicked out the gang next week.
Man, that motherfucker ain't make it through the door.
Tomorrow, y'all need to get into him with the draft control, man. He gonna be. He 2 weeks away from suspension, bro. That nigga might be up out of here. I don't the real, it's ever changing. It's ever growing. I'm evolving. This is Bundoza, the non-binary lesbian. Signing off.
Oh my God.
I'm that. I'm in the studio tonight, man. I'm recording all night. Y'all listen to my mixtape. Me and my nigga 40, we going crazy. I ain't even telling niggas that because I gotta bring the gun, so I don't want police stuff. So yeah, y'all get soon, man. Only for the Real Radio next week. And that same time, 9:13. Be on the lookout for that. My interview with my nigga Fireman, that's gonna be dropping on the podcast tomorrow. Should I drop it tomorrow? No, I want to wait till I do the video, so I'll drop that shit next week.
Wow.
Yeah, we gotta edit that video up.
Yeah, we gotta put the video out there, man. So CJ, it's been a pleasure. It is your weekend. Go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Hit all
wop, do your shit. Do your shit.
Wop. Tearing cheeks up down there, my kid. Tan them up. You in the city all weekend?
I'm in the city for like the next couple weeks. Yeah.
Oh damn! So CJ, man, you got to fuck with the gang, man. We need to have a barbecue. All these people we meet, only for the real barbecue.
Only for the real barbecue.
I come to that. I'll bring the drinks.
Only for the real.